All right, let's talk about Victor Wembanyama and his concussion from last night in Game 2 of the series between the Spurs and the Portland Trailblazers. I'm going to play this clip for you, and you can see exactly kind of how this injury unfolds, and then we're going to talk about it a little bit. So let's start here with playing the clip. So you can see he tries to go in, kind of loses his footing, head bounces off the ground a couple times. He's laying there. Now, I don't think he's unconscious. I think he's just kind of taking a little bit of a break and a breather there. But you can see when he gets up, he's obviously dazed, woozy, off balance, clutching his head. These are all signs of concussion. These are obvious concussion-related signs. Now, I'm going to show you here another clip where they do it in slow motion. And you can really see from this angle how, kind of bad this injury looks, like just the way his head hits the floor and bounces off right here. So boom, right there. So you're going to get a little bit of a rotational impulse there, and it bounces, and then the head hits again. Now you can see by like the grimace on his face that he hasn't lost consciousness here. He's still conscious throughout this, right? So he's, he feels it. He grabs at himself. You can't see that part. It kind of cut there, but obviously a concussion injury. Now, in the media, and the reason why I wanted to make this video is because in the media, they're already talking about potentially having him back for Game 3, which is happening on Friday. So that's a 72-hour gap. Concussion injury, and if you want to learn more about concussion, I've linked some videos in the description, and if I can figure out how to get those cool YouTube tags up on the screen, I'll do that for you as well. But in that video, I describe what a concussion is, what actually happens inside the brain, and how it recovers after, and how long that takes. And what you'll see if you watch that video is concussion recovery takes 3 to 4 weeks for that metabolic recovery. All of that chemical process that happens in the brain when a concussion occurs takes 3 to 4 weeks for that to resolve. And if you get another concussion before that resolution happens, if you get a concussion within that 3 to 4 week window, then you get a cumulative effect where that metabolic load drops even further, and then you start to get compounding effects, and concussions become a big problem. So concussion management requires you to take these injuries seriously and keep players out until the brain has properly recovered. Now, in the media, they're saying he needs at least 48 hours for the concussion protocol. 48 hours. That's not even enough time to hit your peak metabolic low. I did a video a couple years ago as well on Tua's injury, and I broke down kind of why that's so important. So I'll link that one in the description as well for you to check out. But I'm just really interested to see what they're going to do here, because obviously he's one of their best players, if not the best player. And he's not going to be out for the whole series because they just can't afford to lose a player of that caliber. But unfortunately, if they make that call and let him back in, he's going to be in a vulnerable state where any type of little concussion injury after this is going to potentially create a cumulative impact, and he could miss the entire playoffs if the Spurs happen to advance. So anyway, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. What do you think? How should we handle this, especially with a star player like this?